Thanks for joining us in the WVLT newsroom. I'm Whitney Turner. Right now, East Tennessee nonprofits are reeling over the cancellation of hundreds of millions of dollars in state and community grants for projects across the country. And this is all because of the Trump administration's efforts to dismantle AmeriCorps. It's a 30-year-old federal agency for volunteer service. Now, the White House pointed to improper payments reported by AmeriCorps totaling over $40 million in 2024 and attributed to insufficient documentation from grantees, calculation errors, and miscoded expenses. Now, the notice of the termination of grants went out late Friday, explaining, quote, "The award no longer effectuates agency priorities, directed grantees to immediately shut down projects," according to the Associated Press. Now, this affected several agencies across East Tennessee as well. Now, the chief engagement officer with America's Service Commission said there was really no rhyme or reason given to the grantees that were affected by the termination, noting that there are cases of one organization seeing their funding cut in one state, but not in another. In fact, our Evan Lasik spoke with people affected here in East Tennessee. We're learning more than 50 AmeriCorps employees in Knox County alone are without a job.
It means that we are missing that support and losing some capability.
The newest federal cuts have impacted AmeriCorps, a program that helps many community-based organizations across the country, including right here in Knoxville.
Now that it is affecting local nonprofits, it's really hitting home for people that the cuts that are being made are really going to impact Knoxville and our community members.
Roughly $400 million in grants to AmeriCorps nationwide were terminated. Locally, CAC AmeriCorps says as of this week, they have begun to lay off 52 employees.
We are currently involved in the closeout of our grants, the winding down of our program, and seeing if there is any opportunity to continue in the future, but ultimately we are winding down our operations.
One of CAC AmeriCorps' Knoxville partners, the Beardsley Community Farm, now having to figure out what to do after losing 5 of their 10 employees.
All of our programs will be impacted by this loss, and we don't know exactly what that's going to look like or what's going to have to shift.
Beardsley is a community outreach garden that works with schools and neighbors who are interested in gardening. They also provide almost 100,000 pounds of produce to the community. One of the farm's employees, Megan Rockefeller, was just laid off. She says this has not been an easy couple of weeks.
It's just really hard to watch that fall apart, is the word, I guess. Or like be broken down or not considered to be as valuable as I know the program is.
Rockefeller is continuing to volunteer at the farm. She says despite the cuts, she knows the impact this farm has on the community.
I am here volunteering my time because, yeah, I know these people really need help and they just lost 50% of their staff.
And that was our Evan Lasik reporting. So we do know at least 52 people are without a job due to these cuts in Knox County. But these eliminations go across East Tennessee right now. We want to show you that data, what we know, that jobs potentially cut in Johnson City, Morristown, and Rutledge as well. So this is a look at that breakdown that we're seeing from AmeriCorps. The AmeriCorps State and National Program Office with the Appalachian Regional Coalition on Homelessness working on Housing First Service Corps. That has 23 people possibly affected in Johnson County. Now in Morristown, the AmeriCorps State and National Organization with Tennessee's Community Assistance Corporation, Community Cares, is affecting potentially 46 people there. In Rutledge, 82 people possibly affected working on Appalachia Cares with AmeriCorps with the Clinch Powell Resource Conservation and Development Council. So if these numbers are correct, once again, we only have at least 52 people without a job confirmed in Knoxville. But if these numbers add up correctly, 135 people in Knoxville could be affected by these cuts from DOGE. So we're hearing from several of the organizations affected this morning. ETSU sent us the following statement about the cuts. saying earlier this week, East Tennessee State University was notified that a $75,000 AmeriCorps planning grant that the university got last fall has been terminated. The terminated planning grant was focused on helping ETSU expand its services to veterans within 7 counties in Northeast Tennessee, in addition to supporting our student veterans. While this grant would have enabled ETSU to serve a larger population, its loss does not affect our current efforts to serve military-affiliated students who are enrolled at ETSU. We're also hearing from the Emerald Youth teams. Emerald Youth provided this statement to WVLT. They are saying the AmeriCorps program has been a critical part of our work with young people for many years. We were very surprised by its immediate termination, yet we press on because our mission for our community's young people is so urgent. Every child in every neighborhood deserves the opportunity for the kind of full life Jesus spoke of in John 10:10. And now more than ever, especially with this key loss of funding, we need the community's help to make this a reality in our city. We're also just into the WVLT newsroom getting a statement from AmeriCorps Director for Tennessee Community Assistance Corporation. She sent us a lengthy statement. I'm going to read part of it now. At our agency alone, we had 38 members actively serving, with 15 more summer members to begin soon. The sudden loss of the Community Cares AmeriCorps program is heartbreaking, not just for those of us who work alongside these incredible individuals, but for the communities that rely on them for critical services. And while this blow is devastating, we're not giving up. With resilience and unity, we will continue to fight for these programs. So that's a resounding message from the programs who have taken a hit from these federal cuts that we're seeing from AmeriCorps. We have this web story up that we want to bring you to, WVLT News, where we're following this very closely. Now 24 states are suing the Trump administration over these cuts, working to get more information. But several of these programs, they need your help. They're looking for volunteers, possibly donations, so they can keep their services up and running. We have all of that information for you right now inside your WVLT News app, WVLT.tv. So if you want to get connected and help out in these efforts as they try to figure out their next steps following these major cuts to critical grants, keeping these programs alive, you can learn more right here at WVLT News.